Welcome in, guys, and we have a huge kind of debacle right now at CIG, and it involves the RSI Galaxy, because as the user here mentioned, the RSI Galaxy was not included in the base building presentation at CitizenCon this year, and to be fair, I didn't even realize that because I'm not into base building, but they did bring up a very good point. Like, why is the Galaxy not included in this? Because people bought the Galaxy in concept last year around the idea that the Galaxy would be in the game. So with this newfound knowledge, that it wasn't, presented in, the base building presentation, a lot of people were upset and they wanted clarification on this. So Mr. Crew got onto Spectrum, and he basically said he said this: "Hey, we plan to talk more about this at IAE, as that's where we generally give big updates across manufacturers. But a lot of people are discussing this very topic at the moment, so we want to add some more clarification in advance. There are no current plans to have base building for the Galaxy. That doesn't mean there will never be, but there is nothing concepted or planned or in the production schedule. The Starlancer BOD will be the ship that you can build large structures with when base building is available in game." My voice cracked there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. "The only confirmed module in addition to the ones on the Pledge store is the manufacturing model. The general rule of thumb, all things vehicle, unless it's in the Pledge store or available in game, treated as speculative. The Perseus is the next RSI capital ship in production instead of the Galaxy, purely down to the greater percentage of shared assets with the Polaris. I hope that this clears up some confusion around the matter. If scheduling filming format allows, we'll discuss more around IAE." But the issue is like, this is almost like false advertising, and you guys are going to have to try to work your way around this, because the entire premise and point of the Galaxy, most people wanted it for its ability to build bases, right? That's why they bought it. And for you guys to come out here and say that for all things ships, if it's not in the Pledge store or in game, treated as speculative, then why have concept ships in the first place? Why are you selling speculative concept ships to people that you may or may not change in the future? If somebody buys a thing based on what you guys presented as and you put it in the store for sale, they're buying it based on that premise. They're buying it based on what you are advertising it will be in the game. You see, what you've just done here is messed up your entire ship selling module. You just messed up your entire way that you make money for the game. The most money that you make in this game, Mr. Crew, is selling concept ships. So are you now telling people to not buy concept ships? Is that what we're hearing here? Because if anybody has amnesia, we can watch something and figure this out quite easily.
Org. With this, you got different buildings that you can produce, from small, medium to large to XL or XL. So with the surveyor tool, you can only build the small buildings. With a vehicle, you can build small and medium-sized buildings. With the Galaxy, you can build small to large structures. And then obviously with the Pioneer can do it all. And it still works as a mobile base. And we'll talk about some of the more expanded features that we're adding to it in later on. So, and then it's also, we're exploring what can be done in space, not just on the planet.
All right, so you guys heard Top Happy there. He literally said that this ship could do base building. And then 1 year later, after the next CitizenCon, the people who bought the Galaxy based on the premise that they could build bases, are being told that the ship that they bought for that purpose will no longer serve that purpose. So why did they buy the ship then, if you're just going to change what it is while it's still in concept? And this is a danger of buying concept ships. You know, the last concept ship that I bought was the RSI Zeus Mark II MR. And I only bought that because I thought master modes would be coming in the game, being implemented around this time this year, and not being implemented as early as it was. And I'm gonna be honest with you, had I known that master modes would have come sooner, I would have never bought the ship. I would have waited, because now my premise is I want to fly each ship before I commit to buying it, because I may not like how it flies. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of my rule of thumb now. And based on what John Crew here is saying, is it's purely speculative. Like, if you're selling somebody something, if they're paying money for something, they deserve to not have things be speculative, because they're spending hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars. Sometimes, you know, you make a triplet set of ships and it costs $500-600. You know, where is the Spirit E1? Where is the Zeus Mark II MR? Where are all these concept ships that you guys told us would be in the game within a year's time? You know, we don't have them yet. So this is, in my opinion, false advertising. Now, people that have come to my channel very recently, you guys know that I've been very critical of CIG. I've been very critical, and a lot of people haven't liked it. But when they do things like this, how can you not be critical? It's impossible, literally impossible, to not be critical of CIG when they come out and say things like this. Like, if you're saying that everything is speculative, then you can't sell concept ships anymore. That has to be done. You have to wait until these ships are finished their production to sell them. And that is the only way that you should be able to sell ships now. And I could see this right here getting them into probably a little bit of legal trouble. I don't know, like, you know, what their terms and conditions say about concept ships and things like that. But if you're advertising something as one thing and they buy it based on that premise, and then you come back a year later and say, hey, we're going to change it, that doesn't look good for you. And at the very least, it's a court of public opinion. It's wrong. Let's talk about this down in the comments below. And I want to know if you guys bought the Galaxy based on the premise that it could build bases. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.